3, 2, 1. Alright, that'll show up. I'll figure that out later.
Did we come up with a name?
I don't think so. Oh wait, I have a name. I sent it to you. The Presses. With Jay and
I think
Jono.
I said JJ Presses. Did you see that?
That sounds alright. Yeah.
Yeah, because Jay and
Yeah.
Jono.
Well, we'll
JJ
figure.
Presses.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Because I want to say welcome.
Oh yeah, do it.
Alright.
All right.
Do you want to clap again?
Let's clap again. I'll cut this first minute out. Okay. Welcome to
JJ Presses
with Jay and Jono. Yeah, we're just gonna try podcasting for a bit. I'm a bit scared because I don't really know how it'll go.
I'm very nervy.
So for the first couple of episodes, it'll be mainly about myself and Jay. But in the future, we'd like to get guests, whether it be from weightlifting, powerlifting, strongman, CrossFit, any athlete really, or coach, or any health professional in the field that we may know. Just to hopefully just get to know everyone just a bit more. Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
I think we wanted to start this because me and Jono met at Nationals one year, and Nationals is really exciting for us weightlifters because we kind of know what's going on, but from an outside perspective, no one really knows what's going on. No one knows if someone's going for a record, they're trying to make like a team and stuff like that. Like, it looks like a boring sport from the outside, but when you kind of know what people are trying to hit and where they're trying to go with it, it can be really interesting to watch. That was the main reason we wanted to do this.
Yeah. I also think, like, because we got on so well, it figured, it's just easy to talk to, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, as Jay said, with the sport of weightlifting, it can, from the outside perspective, seem a bit dry. But on the inside, once you know people, like all the stories that you hear, how they got into weightlifting, why they're weightlifting, all that sort of stuff, it's all very different. Because everyone has a pretty different story on how they get into weightlifting. Because I think weightlifting carries over into every other sport pretty much.
Yeah.
It's one of those few things that helps everything else.
Yeah. Not much carries into it, but a lot can come from
it. Definitely. So I guess let's get started.
We're going to introduce Jonathan today.
Yeah, so I'm first.
Jonathan, who are you?
I'm Jonathan Santos. I'm 26. I've been weightlifting for since 2018, I think. Yeah, 2018. I lift for House of Chaos Weightlifting.
Yep.
I'm also an online coach at House of Chaos Weightlifting and at Adonis.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
For the weightlifting thing.
How did you get into weightlifting?
So I actually got into weightlifting when I just was watching people, like high-level athletes like Lao Hui, Tashiki, Ko Sing Chun. Those three are the main ones, but there are a few others. Just watching them, it was people that kind of looked like me in a way, you know? Yeah. And they're all really strong, so it also just looked cool, you know, so...
But how did you get into, like, watching those people? Like, how did you find that?
I think I was just scrolling around on YouTube or Instagram, like, you know, shorts or reels, one of those, and then it just popped up. And I'm
That's cool.
I think I saw Lao Hui snatch, like, 170 something, and he's like a 69 kilo weightlifter. Yeah, before he got popped, but, you know.
Did you play or compete in any other sports before
weightlifting? So I did taekwondo for about 11 years. Yeah. So going into weightlifting, I was still training taekwondo. At the time I hit my first degree black belt, I think, and going for my second degree.
And for people that know nothing about taekwondo.
Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, with any general like martial arts, start at the belt system with white belt all the way up to black belt, and then the degrees are just like higher ranks within the black belt.
Yeah.
So the highest you can get, I believe, is 9th Dan. Ninth degree.
Yeah.
That could be. I think that's posthumous though. No, sorry. 9th degree is the highest.
Yeah.
The highest I've gotten up to was third degree, so
you
it
were
takes
coaching
a lot
it
of
too,
time.
weren't you?
Yeah, I was coaching taekwondo, mainly kids. That was a lot of fun, actually. On a personal side, it helped me grow up a bit, because you know, kids are kind of brutal. They'll just say whatever's on their mind, but that's kind of the fun part, because you get to get get better
Yeah.
as a coach as well.
So that's kind of where your coaching kind of began as well.
Yeah, that too. Because my main thing with my coaching with Taekwondo is just keep it simple because it's the kids.
Do you carry that over to weightlifting?
Yeah, I think as best as possible because once you've like snatched and clean and jerk like enough, you can kind of just do it on autopilot, right? You don't really have to think about special technical things like staying over, knees back. You don't really. Yeah. It's just you try to condense it into making it as simple as possible for clients, and then you see the same patterns within like different types of lifters. They're all following like similar principles at least.
Well, that's kind of the thing of weightlifting is everyone has to get it from the ground to overhead. Yeah. But then the nuances are what make it individual and different.
Definitely. Yeah. Like because there's so many different body shapes and types, and then like you said, that's what makes it interesting.
The nuances.
The nuances. Yeah.
So you competed when did you stop competing in Taekwondo?
Oh, sorry.
Competing in weightlifting.
I never really competed in Taekwondo a lot.
Okay.
But there was like an in-house tournament, but they gave out participation trophies, so it didn't really count.
Yeah.
But it was fun, you know? It, like feeling competitive was fun. And I kind of missed it in Taekwondo because I was 77 kilos at the time. And everyone who was 77 kilos or around that weight in Taekwondo was like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I'm not that tall comparatively. So I didn't really compete much, but I did want to compete. So I just actually discovered powerlifting first before weightlifting, and then got into that.
Did you compete in powerlifting?
No, I never did. Oh. But I just...
Why not?
Just like the prep was a lot. I don't know. I don't really know why. I haven't actually. But I'm open to it.
Yeah. So was weightlifting like the first sport you kind of actually really competitively competed in? Like
it's the highest level I've hit.
So that's cool.
Yeah. We both hit national level. You've hit international, right? So national's the highest I've hit, and I'm really happy with how I've gone.
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
I feel like when you talk amongst a lot of other weightlifters, just all around Australia, I think people kind of forget how hard it is to even get to the state level.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've talked about this with a few of my clients. Like, I asked them when you're in school, when you're in high school, when you're in the athletics carnival, how many kids made it to zone?
Yeah.
And how many of those kids made it to regional, I think it was, and then states.
Yeah.
The people who made it to like regional and states, they likely just trained athletics.
Yeah.
They did like little athletics as a kid.
Like it was so hard to get to that level.
Yeah, it was hard.
And sometimes I find with weightlifting we're kind of like states, whatever.
Yeah. That's because we're at that level, you know? Like I'm not competing this year because I just don't really want to compete. I just want to chill. Yeah. Just get healthy again. Yeah. Because I've had some old injuries catching up to me. Yeah. So the focus this year is just chill, have fun. Yeah. I'm playing volleyball too now.
Volleyball, but that's more like social.
That's more social. I'm not really trying to be competitive in volleyball.
Not just yet.
Not yet, but we'll see. It depends on my teammates. Because I was just like brought in as like a
How outsider. Are you finding... Because you did like Taekwondo, powerlifting, and weightlifting. They're all individual sports. Yeah. So how are you finding that compared to volleyball, which is a team sport?
Yeah. That's a good question. So when I was younger, I played basketball in high school. I wasn't the best teammate because like...
So used to
individual sport, right? Yeah. But over time, I've grown up a bit, you know. As long as, I think, from my viewpoint at least, as long as I'm able to be reliable to my teammates and communicate well and fulfill my role, I'm a middle blocker, so I'm looking at the offense and trying to block them and trying to do quick spikes pretty much. As long as I can do that as best as I can, making sure that everyone is able to try to hit their roles as well. I think that's and just talking with teammates.
Yeah.
Trying not to be...
Communication's a lot more prevalent.
Communicate a lot more. Try not to be too egotistical.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah. Yes. Because I know you personally, I know that when you compete for weightlifting, it takes a lot out of you because when you go into that comp mode, you're very focused, locked in, one might say.
Yeah. That doesn't just apply to me, it applies to everyone pretty much.
No,
right?
but I just find like we've had conversations where you're like really exhausted after comps because you put into this comp mode that it's you put into your comp mode, like when you go into your comp mode, it's very like, what's the word? Like I find it takes a lot out of you because you're so focused and you're really into it.
So I go all in on comp mode. It's I don't think it's healthy, but I think taking this time away is good to address that.
More fun.
Making it more fun. I already have ideas on how to make it more fun. Yeah. I'll explain that later.
Yeah. I suppose let's talk more about your weightlifting.
Yeah.
So you started in 2018. Mm-hmm. Now 2024.
Yep.
Talk us through that.
So it hasn't been smooth the whole time, obviously. There's been injuries, challenges. The main thing is just throughout I actually learned from your coach, Phil.
Yeah.
He was holding a learned weightlifting clinic in Adonis and Penrith.
Yeah.
I believe he was just coming off representing at Commonwealth Games.
Yeah,
in 2018. Yeah, that's right. He taught me. I'd found it to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then from there, I kind of just did my own thing with weightlifting because I was balancing taekwondo, powerlifting, and weightlifting.
Oh.
And
how long did that last?
Like 3 months, if I'm being honest, because injuries, just
time,
contrasting styles of training.
Yeah.
Very often, I would train for taekwondo like 4 times a week, 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Weightlifting, powerlifting, I'd be like, didn't really know.
Yeah. When did you make the decision to quit taekwondo and powerlifting?
I think after I hit my 3rd degree in taekwondo, because I wanted my 4th degree.
Yeah.
But the time investment, I feel wasn't worth the reward.
Yeah.
Because I just felt wiped out after hitting my 3rd degree. I didn't really acknowledge it until after I quit.
Yeah.
So, and weightlifting was just more fun at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you learned from Phil at the kind of seminar, did your own thing for a few months, and then did you look for a coach? Did you...
So I didn't find a coach until like a year after, I think.
Yeah, you were just still kind of doing
I was just doing my own thing. I just found online programs.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just like looked up the videos, how to do it. It was
fine. A lot of people have.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And when I found some old videos, and the technique is so ugly.
That's okay.
And I actually met my coach, Dan. He was actually doing strongman stuff.
Yeah.
Before he was doing I think it was either stones, log, or yoke. Any of those, he was doing it, and I was just chilling, doing snatches.
At the same gym?
At the same gym.
In Adonis, yeah.
In Adonis, yeah. He said, I don't remember what he said exactly, but he said something about, try this for your snatch, pretty much. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it worked.
That's cool.
When I did try it.
Yeah.
And then I just talked to him about it. I was like, hey, how did you, know
that? Yeah.
And he's like, I'm a coach. You're like, oh, sick. What's your Instagram? And then I asked him that, and then... I didn't really ask him about coaching until a few months later.
Yeah, cool.
Because that tip just stuck with me the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I believe, when did I start coaching with him? I think late 2019. Yeah. Something like that. I just messaged him. He's like, hey, do you have spots for coaching? Yeah. I want to get better.
That's cool.
And there were points in time we were just training at the local Anytime Fitness.
Yeah.
Because at the time Adonis was going under construction.
Yeah.
And then he was getting put onto the Adonis coaching staff around the same time as well.
So it was 2019?
Yep.
Obviously, pandemic and stuff, 2020 and all that. When was your first weightlifting comp?
I think it was post first lockdown. So late 2020? I think. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sanctioned comp?
No, it was just a novice comp, just held at Adonis.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah. I think I hit like a 100 snatch, a 120 something
Clean.
clean and jerk. At the time, I was with another coach.
Oh.
Because I was like still indecisive.
Oh, so you're trying.
I was trying. Yeah, I was. I was obviously paying both. Like
you
the
had
coaches.
both of them at the same time?
Not at the same time, sorry.
Oh, I was like, how does that work?
Let me go back. So I was with Dan for a bit, and then the first lockdown happened, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I contacted another coach, another friend, Jono Ray. Have you met him? No. Giant man. Nice dude. Yeah, so I just wanted to do like strength stuff.
Yeah.
Really, I wasn't really
weightlifting
specific. And then Adonis popped up with the novice comp.
Yeah.
Like.
So you did that one with him.
And I just said, "Hey, can I do this?" Like I still remember how to snatch, how to clean and jerk and everything. He's like, "Oh, okay. I don't really have a lot of weightlifting experience, but let's give it a go."
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then where'd you go from there?
After the comp?
Yeah.
That's when I was like, okay, I want to do weightlifting.
Cool. And then you reached back out to Dan?
Yeah, went back with Dan. And then...
When was your first sanctioned comp?
First sanction wasn't until 2022.
Which you made nationals that year?
I made nationals that year.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was at early 2022, April, I think. So I just trained for a solid year.
Almost two
without really competing. So it's like, it's not foreign to me of not competing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just...
That's a long time.
It's a long time. It's a really long time now that I think about it.
During COVID, did you set up a at-home gym?
I had dumbbells and like a pull-up bar, but that was really it.
So you didn't do much weightlifting through COVID?
So that was like, I really wanted to do weightlifting, but I just couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, and like everyone got hit hard by the pandemic, so you know,
it's tough.
Just like a big decline in physical and mental health. Yeah.
So obviously everyone.
It's just how it was at the time. So I think some people did it better than others. I don't think I did it very well.
That's fine. That's alright. We made it now.
Yeah, we made it.
So 2022, you did nationals in Canberra that year.
Mm-hmm.
So you worked from not like a local comp to states.
Yep.
To nationals, and your first proper competitive year of weightlifting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
that's a highs and lows of that year.
Feat I'm very proud of. So between the local comp and states, it finally hit me that I was like competing at that level.
Yeah.
You know, because I qualified for states on my openers.
Yeah.
But it just like, there's that mental aspect of weightlifting that I think gets overlooked a lot of the time. That was setting in. Just, you know, putting a lot of pressure on myself to try and make nationals. From the physical standpoint, I think I was fine. Didn't really have any issues that I remember.
Yeah.
Once I got to states, I remember snatches went fine.
Where was states at that year?
That was at Olympic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Key Center. And I passed out on my first clean and jerk.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did. I got the bar up, and then I started getting groggy, and then had to drop it. Just hit the deck. I didn't like fall back. I like fell forward.
Right.
But
Did you get your lifts after that?
Yeah, I did. And it was kind of ridiculous. I believe it was 37 I was opening on, so I went for 137 again.
Yeah.
I hit it.
Yeah.
After I made it, I almost passed out again.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just walking back.
Do you know? Have you figured out why? Has that ever happened again since?
Not since, because it was the bar was like on my neck.
Yeah.
Like on my, I think, carotid artery.
Carotid,
yeah. The bar was just there, and I was just messing that up.
Wow.
But that's on me.
So 137 second attempt you got. What was third?
And then Dan said, "What do you want to do for your last?" And I'm like, "Whatever you think I got, I'll give it a go." He put 146. So 9 kilo jump.
And was that to make nationals though?
No, I opened to make nationals.
Okay, cool.
I think the doubt crept in on the first clean and jerk.
Enough, yeah.
But managed to push through.
Did you make that third lift?
I made the third lift.
That's mad.
It was pretty...
It was a big jump.
It was a big jump.
Very good.
But it was really fun.
Yeah.
And that's where I realized, I can kind of hang with these guys because I came 5th in that comp out of like 12.
In what weight category were you?
89.
That's stacked.
Yeah, that's a stacked. That's like one of the most stacked in the country.
For guys,
yeah. Because there's 7 other guys who are ahead of me.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. So the nationals that year was Canberra.
Canberra, yes.
And you were second session, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in the B session.
But you won the B session.
I won the B session.
How far up did you get in the A session? Like, what did you not total? Obviously, what you totaled, but what did you place?
I think
at that nationals.
It was between like 8th to 10th. I think I can't remember
That's
off the top
bad.
of my head.
For your first nationals.
For my first nationals, I was pretty stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, I'm getting to travel to lift.
To Canberra.
How cool is that? You know, and Canberra's. Well, the AIS is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked that. That's one of my favourite, not podiums, stadiums.
It's a really nice platform.
That was one of my...
Because it's like a whole auditorium,
it's an
right?
auditorium, so the whole audience is looking down to the platform, and then the warm-up room. Warm-up room wasn't the best. There's only like 4 or 5 platforms.
Yeah,
like 5 or 6 platforms at the back.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
But the actual platform you lifted on was the coolest because it was like an auditorium, so everyone's in like stands and then the platform's down. Where most of the other ones you're all just at the same level.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So yeah, that national is actually one of my favorite comps.
Yeah,
it might be my favorite comp.
Yeah.
Because it was like I can kind of relax now and just have fun on the platform.
Yeah.
And then Dan was like, I reckon you can win the B session.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
What did you hit?
Let's gun for it. On my snatch, I think I hit 117? 16 or 17.
Yeah.
I missed my second. Yeah, I think it was 17. Just went up 1 kilo.
Yeah.
And then for clean and jerk, I told Maddie, who was handling me from Zubin.
Yeah.
He was handling me on the day. I opened on like 140, I think.
Yeah.
Second one was like 45.
Yeah.
And then I went to 152 after.
Nice.
So.
And you got all 3?
I got all 3 if I remember right.
That's cool.
No, I'm way better at clean and jerk, so I don't miss clean and jerks as much as snatches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I won my session. So I think that's really why. That's my favorite comp because I'm decent.
Yeah.
You know.
Did that kind of fuel the fire to want to compete more, or did you go through? Were you kind of like, I'm good there.
I was like, yes and no.
Because there's like the post comp blues.
Yeah, the post comp blues. Everyone gets them.
And the bigger the comp, the bigger they are.
Yeah. So I took 2 weeks off after that one.
Yeah.
I was just sitting around. I didn't really train that much, if I remember right.
Any challenges throughout that whole kind of year of 2022 that stick out to you?
I think it was like the post-comp blues.
Yeah.
Like, because that was
a new kind of feeling for
It was
you.
a new feeling.
Yeah,
you know?
because you've never really competed.
Never had that.
Yeah.
At that level. So I think I took a week after States. Took a week off. After Nationals, I took a 2-week break.
Yeah.
And then I was just sitting around. I was just eating.
Yeah.
It was good, though.
That's nice.
It was necessary. And then moving forward...
Did you have to cut for that Canberra comp, 89?
Yes.
Much?
Don't think so. It was just like the food situation at the accommodation wasn't great. So if I remember right, we had like the rooms that were provided to us.
You stayed at the
I stayed at the AIS.
Oh, I heard that was creepy.
Yeah, it was like a prison.
Someone said mental asylum. But
yeah. Was that me who said that?
No.
No? Okay.
I'll tell you later who.
Okay. Yeah, it was that. And then the food, like it was a big like cafeteria. Wasn't a lot of like comp prep type food that you would eat the day before.
Yeah.
It was just like salmon.
Yeah.
So that's all I ate before.
Yeah, right.
The night before. But no, the biggest challenge was definitely the post-comp blues.
Just trying to navigate that.
Navigating that, getting
through it.
Probably
weren't expecting it.
I wasn't.
And I find some coaches, maybe not some coaches, but even I've found with myself and my own clients, you kind of forget to warn them for it as well.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you always program to be ready for it, but you kind of forget the mental side of it as well. Yeah. Like I'm always aware of it now going into comps that it's you're gonna not want to train for a few weeks
Yeah,
afterwards.
I always tell one of my guys,
Yeah.
like, it's gonna hit.
And even if
Just
you think, even
be
like,
ready.
because it's funny, it's like you finish the comp and you're like, oh my god, I want to go train right now. I want to
Yeah.
go hit another PB right now.
Mhm.
And then 2 days later, you're like, I do not want to see that
Yeah.
barbell ever again.
Yeah, you just don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Just sit around.
Yeah. So
Like-
that was your year of 2023. What about? Oh no, 2022. What was 2023 like for you?
23, I didn't compete until States that year.
How'd you have to qualify? Or did nationals qualify
Nationals
you
qualified me
for
for
states the next
States.
year?
So yeah, because I didn't have to compete, I was like, okay.
So did you only
let's just
compete
chill.
twice last
Yeah.
year? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't want to compete that often.
That's
It's just because
crazy.
the pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Yeah.
And,
It does. I find.
and it wipes me out like
it-
crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, the gap between nationals and states 2023,
It was a lot
just
less, wasn't it? It's only like a month or two.
no. It was quite a
June
while.
and August.
Oh no, I mean nationals from
Oh yeah.
from 22.
Yeah, 22 nationals.
That was a big gap.
Yeah, that
So-
would have been November all the way to June.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So that the first few months was just navigating the post comp blues
Mm.
and just like I don't really want to train, but I'll train anyway,
Yeah.
and just pushing past that
Yeah.
because like I said to myself at this year I want a podium at states in the 89s because that weight class is so stacked.
Yeah.
I
It's a
feel
big
like that'd be the best possible,
outcome.
no matter the medal. I didn't
Yeah.
really care which one
Yeah.
it was as long as it was top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my whole goal for the year.
Mm.
And that was like one of my, like, I need to set new goals, but at the time it was one of my final goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that gap was just training hard. I hurt my back a few months before, if I remember right. It wasn't anything crazy, thankfully. It was just like a tweak in one of the vertebrae.
Yeah.
Yeah, but managing that, trying to like push through training, heavy training with
That
a back
your
injury.
First kind of injury as
Yeah,
well
of
with
that-
weightlifting.
Of that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it
First
was
kind of back injury.
Yeah, I never really had that before.
Yeah.
So
Never really competed in weightlifting with an injury too.
no,
or
so
managed training with
yeah,
it.
going into it, it was quite
Scary. It's
scary and tough.
Yeah.
Just because I've never done it before.
daunting.
But I went to Powder at PB
Yeah.
in Marrickville. So I was living at Castle Hill at the time, so driving all the way to Marrickville every time for training. It worked,
Yeah.
thankfully. So
Very good.
Powder's really, really good. Yeah, so moving into that comp, it was just like medal or nothing really in my head. I think because of that, it's my second favorite comp
Yeah.
because I got the medal.
Yeah.
I came second.
That's good. Cool.
Who did I lose to? I lost to Sam Jansen.
Yeah.
That dude's a beast.
Yeah.
In all fairness, like
Yeah.
he's been training for
Jansen
a
or
really long
Johnson?
time. Is it Jansen? It's Jansen, right?
Yeah.
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 And nice dude too.
Yeah.
Like
That's a tough one to beat.
he's a hard one to beat because like I was watching. I met him a few years before I started competing. Actually, yeah, I saw him crush it in the A session,
Yeah.
2022 nationals.
Yeah.
He did really well.
Yeah.
So I wanted to like try hang with him
Yeah.
in 2023 states.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
I did pretty good that comp.
So having such a big goal for
Mhm.
medaling for states
Mhm.
as well, and then going to nationals. What's kind of the goal going into nationals that year?
That year, it was just like
Obviously, A session.
I was kind of like because I got the medal. That was
Yeah.
like I was like wiped out mentally.
Yeah.
Because I got it,
And it was a 2 months turnaround. It was only 8 weeks.
Yeah, it was like almost nothing.
Yeah.
It felt like almost nothing. It was
Yeah.
so quick. Yeah, my headspace totally changed. It wasn't like a have to succeed kind of headspace.
It was a
It was
kind of
more
a
like,
have fun again.
Just have fun again,
Yeah.
because
Were
that's
you
why
A session?
I was A session.
That's good.
So I was my first A session nationals, which is cool. And because I knew I wasn't gonna podium, there was like 6 or 7 guys who are better than me on the
AWF.
AWF, right?
Yeah.
So I made it a mission to just have the most fun in the back room.
And that was, yeah, I remember you said that. And you did, too.
Yeah, I was having a blast.
You said you had a lot of fun. And that was travelling to Melbourne.
Travelling to Melbourne?
Well, not Melbourne, Victoria.
Okay.
And that was...
We're good? Yes, we're good, sorry.
That was your first travelling interstate for a competition?
Yeah.
We went down to Victoria.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it was.
Hawthorne, I think it was? Yeah.
Yes.
So
you were very excited about
I was very excited because, getting to fly to live.
Well, Canberra's interstate, but it was a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, it's a drive, so it's like...
Yeah.
It's still cool.
There's only a 3-hour drive.
But it doesn't hit the same as, like, flying,
we were on the plane and all that.
I don't really like flying a lot, but I'll fly to lift, you know?
Yeah. You were very excited about that.
I was excited.
I remember the whole time you're like, I got to fly
I got to fly to lift. How sick is that, you know? No, we had a lot of fun. Because you and I roomed together. I was first, and you were the next day, right?
I think so. I think it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
You sent down on Sunday.
Yeah, so I was just like, I remember the day before I was like panicking. On my weight. Because I was, I think, 89.8.
Or something. You're pretty
going
worried.
into, and I was pretty worried, so I was just like...
Because you didn't know, because it's very different for everyone. Like, how are you going to fly? How are you going to sit? How are you going to travel?
Yeah.
And then obviously when we're traveling, you're not eating the same food you are from home.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember you eating sloppy chocolate wheat bix and salmon. That's all you ate that day.
Yeah, it was
Salmon's
pretty
sashimi.
Depressing. But that, like, those...
And then you had protein, the really thick protein for dinner. Do you remember that?
I remember that. Oh, yeah, because we only had, like, a glass of water. There wasn't, like, a shaker or anything.
I think that was Friday night. It was
that was
water,
gross.
so you had to just mix it with a fork.
Yeah, that was gross.
And it was, like, thick. Because you didn't want to put that much water.
Yeah,
I was like, you're not going to hold that much water. And you didn't believe me, so...
You were right, because...
What'd you end up being?
I weighed, like, something stupid. I think I weighed, like, 86.
Yeah. I was the same there.
Because of the stress.
Yeah. You just stress it out.
Not having enough water and food.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... It's just, like...
And then the goal was have fun.
The goal was just have fun in the back room.
And you did?
I did. I had a blast.
You hit PB that comp too, didn't you? Snatch?
Yes, snatch and clean and jerk.
There you go.
So
what was that?
I figured that's the way to go about it.
Yeah.
You know, just enjoy the lifts, have fun in the back room, make jokes with the coach and coaches.
So what were the numbers you hit for snatch and clean jerk?
For snatch, I hit 121.
Yeah.
But initially it was ruled a no lift because of like elbow press out.
Yeah.
But the jury
overturned it
after Yannick or Maddie
challenge carded. Nice.
Like, I remember walking off the platform, seeing the red lights, and just booing.
Yes,
I booed.
did.
I didn't do boo very loud. It wasn't like a hostile attack, but
it was funny.
It was just.
I remember that was funny.
Yeah, because it still sucks to seeing red lights on a press out.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance the lift isn't going to get better than that at a certain weight.
Yeah.
So, and then the judges are just like sniping.
That's
a whole other episode. Sorry, yeah.
But
yeah, fought the law and won.
Yeah, so you got 121.
121 snatch.
Clean and jerk?
Clean and jerk, I hit 160.
Yeah, that was a big number for you
That
too.
was huge for me.
Had you hit that in training beforehand?
No.
So that was a big number. That's a huge number for you.
So that was a 5 kilo PB.
Nice.
From what I remember, I opened on 45.
Yeah.
We did some stupid jumps.
Like 45, 55, 60?
It was 45, I think 52.
And then 60.
And then 60.
That's mad. Who was in the back room? Who did you have coaching you that time?
So it was initially Yannick reached out to me. Yannick from Shred. Yannick and then Maddie from Zubin. So both of those guys, they both helped me out a lot.
Because at the national level, we don't have our personal
Yeah, you don't have your personal coaches at the national level.
New South Wales coaching team.
Yeah, Team New South Wales coaches are assigned to all the lifters, which is really cool. Both of them helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Both had different aspects from what they helped me with. In the comp, Yannick was like helping me with like headspace, just making sure I was having fun, because I told him that was my main goal.
Yeah.
Maddie was just like making sure timing was right. Everything.
Weight on the bar.
Weight on the bar. Yeah.
That's cool.
And then because it was myself and one other lifter in that session from New South Wales, it was only 2 of us.
Yeah.
But so there was a total of like 5 coaches, 5 or 4 coaches
Yeah,
in
just
the
for the
back
two
room,
of
just
you.
for the 2 of us.
That's kind of fun sometimes.
It was really fun because it was Maddie, Yannick,
Yeah.
Vanessa,
Yeah.
Luke,
Yeah.
and was there a 5th?
Was it Peter? No, he wasn't there.
No,
that
Pete
one.
wasn't there. Oh, it must have just been the 4 of them.
Yeah, which is good.
Unless I'm remembering someone.
There could have been someone. I'm not
I
sure.
hope I'm remembering right.
Yeah.
I just distinctly remember the 4 of them.
Yeah.
So
So was that your last comp?
Yeah, of the year.
From now? That's
Oh
your
yeah,
latest comp.
that's in my latest comp, and I was just joking around with the coaches.
Yeah.
There was actually a point in time where the bar got misloaded.
Yeah.
I was on my last warm up,
Yeah.
and it didn't faze me at all. I was just
Yeah.
laughing the whole
That's
time.
good,
I'm
though.
like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, that feels a bit weird.
Yeah.
And then Luke just started laughing
Yeah.
because I think he wasn't expecting me to
Do it.
like ride it off.
Yeah. That's good though.
And then crush my opener.
That's good.
Like no problem.
Yeah.
So
That's a good progression.
yeah.
So where are you at now with weightlifting?
With weightlifting, I'm just chilling, just training to have fun. Because I still like snatching and clean and jerking.
Mm.
Like, the way those movements just feel really good
Yeah.
in general. Just trying to get better at volleyball, playing volleyball
Yeah.
with my whole team. That's a lot of fun. Just really pursuing fun.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
What? Is there anything in particular that made you want to pursue fun more than compete?
When I realized that being kind of crap at volleyball was at the time just a bit more fun than competing on the platform.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like I'm developing in both
Yeah.
both weightlifting and volleyball.
Yeah.
But because I'm newer to volleyball, I'm learning at a higher rate.
Yeah. New
Getting better at a
games.
higher rate, exactly. But with weightlifting, I'm still doing it. It's
Yeah.
just trying to be more athletic.
Yeah.
So I'm dropping weight actually.
On purpose or by accident? Or just
Initially it was by accident, and
Yeah.
then I just okay, I feel really good at this weight.
Yeah.
So I'm at
faster?
I feel faster. I'm at 90 kilos now, I think.
Because you were walking around like 94, 96.
Yeah, I was walking
Chonky.
94, 96 at my highest,
Mm.
around like 22, 23.
Yeah.
So quite heavy. It's actually like painful to exist
Yeah.
at that weight for me.
Like you said, so you're just trying to be a bit more athletic.
Yeah, healthy.
Yeah.
Just enjoying
Do you
that.
see yourself competing anytime this year?
I don't know about this year, but I do want to compete in the future. Like, I'm not writing it off. I'm not retired.
How does the totals go for you for nationals? Does it make it harder for you to achieve or still achievable?
It's achievable, but it's just harder.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
so
that something you kind of want to try and do?
I don't know. Not too sure yet, because the qualifying total for 89s was initially 251. It got bumped up to 270 this year.
Yeah.
So it's doable. It's just harder, like
Yeah.
way harder.
Yeah.
Also, nationals is in Sydney this year,
Yeah.
so I'm not like as
You
excited.
really like the travel
I like the
part.
travel part.
I'm kind of excited. It's in
Yeah.
Sydney. I'm like, slay, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'll still watch.
Yeah,
You know,
still come out.
like because it'll be a fun time
Yeah.
just to get to see everyone lift and crush it.
Do you feel like we've missed anything from your kind of athletic career?
Not that I can think of. I think I've talked about everything.
How do you find your coaching has evolved
Over time.
Yeah.
So I started coaching.
weightlifting?
Coaching weightlifting around 2022.
Yeah.
Late 2022.
What got you into that?
It was kind of like things just fell in my favor. Just circumstances led to that happening. I was already like trying to see if I would like to coach.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of, years before, I was kind of burnt from coaching
Fair enough.
taekwondo and just, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So just took a break from teaching or coaching, and then I realized, I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy helping people achieve their goals in whatever it is. In this case, it's weightlifting.
Yeah.
You know, so on that end of things, the circumstances just worked in my favor, and then I just wanted to get better at coaching.
Yeah.
It was it's strange.
What is?
But it's just strange in the sense like balancing coaching and being a competitive athlete.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is a very hard balance.
It's a very hard balance.
And I think like we can talk about this another time, but I think you got to be very conscious of it.
Yeah.
And you have to be very open with your athletes. As well.
It's very hard.
Like I've had to say to athletes before, like, hey, I'm going to be competing that weekend, like for your best outcome and for your best experience, we should choose another weekend for you to compete. Like it's just kind of how it works.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I want them to have the best time, and I don't want to kind of take away from my own experience as well.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. So we've had that. I had that last year.
What are your coaching goals?
So right now I have one guy who I reckon can get to nationals. I don't know if it'll be this year, but it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So we'll try really hard to get him to nationals. That's my main goal. It's kind of why I'm taking a step back from competing, so I can prioritize that.
That's cool.
And I have one guy doing Masters Nationals next month.
Yeah.
So driving up to Gold Coast with him, that'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
So because the competition's just at the hotel.
Yes.
It's perfect.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah. I'm excited for that. And for the most part, it's just get my athletes to where they want to be, whether it be state level, national level, wherever, or just get better at snatching and clean and jerking. That's really it. Yeah. And just keep learning as a coach.
Beautiful.
That's important.
Now, where can everyone find you?
So my lifting Instagram is Black Tiger Barbell. That's my coaching brand. My personal Instagram is Jonathan X Santos. I try to separate the two as much as I can. It's just good to have the separation.
Of course.
But yeah, I think that's it.
That's it.
I think that's good.
Next time we'll talk about me.
Yeah, next episode's about Jay. I have like a whole notebook just to ask.
Alrighty.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
See ya.